Fire had started over on the side of here and ran down that canyon across the top of that and down through.
San Diego County Fire Battalion Chief Cal Hendry has defended these Jamul homes for years. He says he feels despair when he sees homes without defensible space clearing.
If it didn't give the house a chance by giving a defensible space clearing, it's going to be an uphill battle.
And he means that literally, as fire can travel up a hill just as quickly as water flows down, which is why hardening a home against fire is a priority in the CalFire San Diego County Fire Defensible Space Program.
We're not allowing anything combustible, any wood, plastic, whatever, within 5 feet of any of the perimeter of the home or deck has to be cleared down to very minimal soil or hardscape with rock or something like that.
Homeowners Teresa and Darren Greenhall are taking it a zone further. Their house is especially vulnerable as it is flanked by open space.
State-owned Hollenbeck Ranch Preserve. There's a tremendous amount of wildfire danger in this particular part of Jamul.
So now we're having to redo things and rethink things because we're trying to be in compliance with that new 0 to 5 foot zone.
They're clearing their home in compliance with ember-resistant Zone 0, which prohibits items like furniture, debris, or fencing within 5 feet of a structure. But even a newly built fire-safe home like theirs needs work.
Greenhall, Green.
Today, the Greenhalls are getting a CalFire inspection of their property.
Work is never done. I am sure that there are going to be things that she's going to put on the list that I'm going to have to add to my list.
All right, so let's take a walk around, and that way we can point out any violations that you have.
CalFire Forest Technician Brandy McLaughlin inspects homes in San Diego County for the Defensible Space Program.
So what we're looking for, and is especially in San Diego, is we have our first zone, which is Zone 1, and it's that first 50 feet of clearance, and that's what we're going to look at first, along with the extension of Zone 2, which is your 50 to 100 foot zone. Over here, everything looks great. You have separation between some of your plants. Everything is not bundled together. You have great separation. Working in these areas since 2000, I've seen most of this hillside burn, and then the vegetation comes back, and then it'll burn again, and it'll come back. And so that's why we need that defensible space, because no matter what, fire will always come back. You also have your eaves. They're all enclosed, which is great. You have for your your log type wood. It's not going to be something that catches on fire easily.
Just as an ember finds the weak points of a home, her job is to do the same. She says vent holes are the easy way in.
I have all of this space, and so I'm going to be okay. And that's what we hope. That's why we want that 100-foot defensible space. However, sometimes erratic winds, a lot of embers will fly and they'll get into these teeny little crevices, and then that's where that fire starts. So just imagine those embers that crawl across the ground and they get into those vents. So that's why we need to have the grate to where it's 1/8. Even the plastic, I'd remove the plastic from being even that close to the house.
Greenhall says he made improvements even before this inspection. Things he's already checked off the list include installing double-paned windows with tempered glass, metal vents, gutters, and downspouts.
This is a perfect example of that. When this house was built, this was plastic. Now it's metal, and now it's in compliance.
Although you still have some bushes, but they're separated, and we don't have the continuous vegetation to make that continuous line of fire, so that's great. Your slope is really well maintained. You do have one dead bush that we do need to get rid of, that particular one right there. Other than that, your distance is good, again, on getting that 100 feet.
Placing trash cans behind a block wall instead of up against the house, a practice CalFire says is dangerous because of combustible items that could easily ignite.
So when it comes to propane tanks, we want to have that bare mineral soil cleared 10 feet this way, that way, this way. Anything that's hanging over, be it the trees, those have got to be limbed up and removed also. So a lot of your propane tank is relatively clear. However, you do have enough of the duff that we need to get rid of that. So I've got a 6-foot wingspan, so I just kind of always gauge it. But yeah, at least anything that's wood, combustible, touching the home, we want to get rid of. Wood fencing, vinyl fencing.
The Greenhalls also added reflective bot dots to their driveway to make it easy to find their way out in smoky or dark conditions, as well as for fire crews to make their way in and spot the 2 hydrants on the property.
I love this piece of property, and so I feel like I'm capable of doing enough preventative things to keep it safe.
Teresa is also part of the San Diego County Fire Community Response Team, or CERT.
For me, our big message is registering for alerts and preparing for evacuations.
She tested how fast I could realistically pack a bag in an emergency. The plastic box full of everyday items, she says, represents my house.
And you get a knock on the door, you have 15 seconds to pack what you think you need to pack to evacuate quickly with very short notice. Go.
And she calls time.
Flashlight. Oh, okay.
You packed really great stuff, which I'm really proud of you for packing.
Thank you.
But could you really have gone to the kitchen, the bedroom, and the bathroom and packed what you needed in a short amount of time? Or would it be better to have a bag ready to go that you just are running out the door with?
No argument there. Teresa worries people may have become too complacent.
I think because the fire department's been so quick to respond and they're sending everything out, but still you need to take care of your family and your pets.
And hardening your home for yourself, your neighbors, and firefighters is the first line of defense. Maya Trabulsi, KPBS News.